Hi there. My name is Dr. Benita Jackson. I'm a psychology professor and the director of the Society Psychology and Health Laboratory here at Smith College. Have you ever wondered about the stories behind the people who create research in psychology? You are in the right place. This series is about spotlighting Smith alums working across the spectrum of psychology. Come, join us around the lab table. My lab members and I hope that the range of stories from these amazing scholars offer inspiration to current and future psychology researchers from any background. Maybe that's you. Curious? Let's have a listen.
Hello, my name is Somi Mosu, and I'm a research assistant at the Society Psychology and Health Laboratory. Today, I would like to introduce you to Cheri Eshete, a Smith graduate from the class of 2014. This interview was conducted in spring 2022 by Lily Shannon and former Smith student Tamia Hill. At the time of the interview, Cheri was completing her first year of residency in family medicine at CMAR Community Health Centers. Cheri is interested in integrating community within medical practice and making medicine equitable for all through holistically approaching patient history. Today, Cheri talks about why she chose to specialize in family medicine, her experience working as a behavioral specialist with the organization Ryther, and her take on the potential bias in psychiatry within medical school curricula.
I graduated from Smith in 2014. I'm currently living in Washington State and originally from Washington. Right now I'm a first year family medicine resident, completing 3 years of family med residency in Washington State. So I knew kind of when I was at Smith, I knew I wanted to go into medicine. So I was like completing all the pre-med courses and stuff. But after getting out of school, I was like, I don't think I can go right into medical school. I want some more life experience. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I just kind of knew I wanted to work with children. So originally I went back to Seattle and I worked in a underprivileged school district with the AmeriCorps. It's a program called City Year. And we pretty much commit to a year of service where we get placed in a classroom and we work with students one-on-one who have been targeted as students who need a little bit extra help and support, whether that be in academics, social, or like attendance-wise. So we kind of tackle all of those situations. But then what I realized from that experience was that I really liked the mental health side of it and realized that like academics is not always about like how smart you are. There's a lot of different social factors that go into like being successful in school. And so I kind of like the social aspect of children and how they interact with the world. So that's when I got into a behavioral health job. And this is it's a residential center for kids with behavioral issues due to trauma. And so they come here. The typical stay is about 9 months, but they live there full time. And they have full-time staff of us who are like their behavioral specialists. So we work on social skills with them, work on, getting them to figure out what emotional regulation pretty much. And then also teaching them like the normal stuff of how to brush your teeth, what to like do on a day-to-day basis to stay clean and a functioning person in society, because a lot of that kind of got thrown by the wayside just due to their trauma. They just kind of reverted back to trying to just survive. So they lost a lot of those social skills and other things that we learn as we grow older. And that at that time I was like deciding like, okay, I do want to go into medicine still. So I was like, I'll do this for now and apply to medical school at that time. And I knew, unfortunately, just because of the degree of trauma that these kids have gone through, I knew it couldn't be like a long-term kind of job, just because it's a draining, mentally tasking job. And so I was just like, I really want to help, but I kind of knew my limits and how much I could do. But when I was thinking about medicine, I was really interested in psychiatry and kind of children's psychiatry. And then I realized as I was going through medical school that I kind of like adults as well. And so I was trying to figure out a way that I could integrate the community aspect, as well as dealing with different types of people, kids, adults, teenagers. And so family medicine was a thing that kind of landed on, just because you get to meet your patient where they are and then kind of follow them throughout their lives, and a lot of social, economic things you have to kind of navigate in order for people to kind of be able to take care of themselves medically. So I think that really kind of tied in all the things I was interested in social equity, medicine and equity, and all of that, and also dealing with kids and adults who need help.
How did Smith influence your career path?
So I think it kind of goes all back to like why I applied to Smith. It was kind of an interesting story because I'm all the way in Washington, so I didn't really know much about Smith when I first got, I guess, introduced to it. But my dad, he was like very much into me going out of state for college. And surprisingly, he found like this once a month meeting that was held in some random place in the city that would talk about colleges on the East Coast. So he was like a school board member or whatever. And he would have various representatives come and talk about their schools. Now, one time, a Smith alumni from Seattle came and talked, and my dad was like, "Oh, you should definitely like check the school out." And I was like, "I don't know, all women's college." I've never had that experience before, so I was kind of just unsure about it all. And then I got this opportunity in junior year of high school to go to Smith College just to get a tour of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I like love this school just because of the way it looks. Mm-hmm. But then I like started to do more research, and I was like, yeah, I think I want to go here. And I don't think I fully realized like the impact until way later. But I think just the philosophy of the school, like empowerment and making you feel like, you know, your words matter, and it kind of builds your confidence into, which is what I really needed. I just had a lot of self-consciousness going on in relation to education. I just felt like I wasn't good enough. And at Smith College, it's like kind of hard to be the person in the background, because there's always someone like, Cheri, what do you think? And you kind of have to say something. So I think it just really made me be more engaged in my education, and kind of made me more confident in being independent and choosing what I wanted to do. So I just think it gave me more freedom to figure out what I liked and then go for it, versus like being scared of what if I didn't get in or all that kind of stuff. I just kind of got the confidence enough to just try. I think that's what Smith showed me about that.
What advice do you have for Smithies who are interested in becoming clinicians?
I guess when I came into Smith, I had a pretty big, a hard time adjusting to just the environment that I was in. I felt like a lot of the people I was around were white and rich, and I definitely did not come from that. And I felt super intimidated just because I've also met a lot of people that came from boarding schools or other all-women schools. And so I just felt like their education was a lot more advanced than mine. And I did have that feeling of like, oh, like, did they accept me, and like they actually meant to accept someone else? And so it's just like that thing that I was always fighting. And then I just kept getting validations like throughout Smith College that like, yes, I'm supposed to be here. Yes, I'm doing okay. Like, that's okay. And I think when you go off into the world, especially being a woman and then being a person of color, but a woman in general, people kind of think of you as either, you know, a nurse or lower than that. And so I think it's a lot of that feeling again of being like an imposter or feeling like you don't belong. So I think as long as you have like a passion, you know what you want, or even if you don't, even if you're just really interested in the field, I think it's okay to have those feelings of like, oh, is this right? But I also think it's the society that's making you feel that way and not necessarily your abilities. So I just say if you can recognize that like, yes, I'm feeling this like imposter syndrome, but I have been shown in my life to have like, in all these instances, it's been shown that I actually belong here. then I think you could just recognize that and then like move on and make sure that, you know, your goals are met. But I think it's important to realize like that is a thing that I've seen in the medical field. It's just like, it's a male dominant, white dominant field, like, and it's changing, but you know, not as fast as we want it to. So just being aware of that. But I think a lot, Smith is great in thinking that, you know, it empowers you, women empowerment, et cetera, but it's good to recognize that not all people have that idea that like women can do anything that men can do.
What messages would you give to your younger self?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a work in progress. I know I mentioned to you guys like the self-confidence issue, and like to be transparent, I was like working with a therapist on how like my confidence is not necessarily preventing me from doing things that I want, but it's not making me feel mentally okay, if that makes any sense. So I think what I would tell my younger self is just to like take a breath and relax and stop overthinking things, because in the end, like if it will all work out, I guess is my lesson. I think I just myself too, I need to be more positive thinking and kind of rechannel the way I think about things, because I'm very focused on like things that didn't work out or stuff that I did that I was like, oh, I wish I could have phrased that better. I wish I could have done this better. But like, I just have to stop being so hard on myself, I think is the one thing, and like be thankful for what I have and be proud of what I've done so far, is a good thing. Yeah.
What house did you live in during your time at Smith? And were you part of the house community?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I was in Capen House, the best house ever. I was very involved. I think the reason why I was like I was super scared when I first came in and had that imposter syndrome, but I think everything was like washed away from me as soon as I stepped into the house, because they were just so welcoming, so inviting, and they are always like there to listen. I think that was like the best part of my experience there. It's like I met the most amazing people, and I still like talk to those people today. And I don't know what it is. I think Smith just has a way of picking people that, you know, are going to be the like most impactful in your life and just putting them together. I don't know how they ended up putting people together that like mesh so well, but, and then there was like the traditions that they were there. Like, I know like, what is it? Tea and biscuits? Yes. And that was like the one time that people could like, you could see someone that you haven't seen in like a week because of their schedule was so crazy, but you knew they were going to go down and get free food. So that was nice. And then just like the lazy days on Sunday or whatever day you had free, and you're just like, you spend the whole day with your housemates or, you know, just doing random things. I think that was like really cool and a very unique experience, just because now when I'm hearing about people in college, like they lived off campus, they commuted from home, and it's just like, it's just so different. Like I don't know, I feel like it's just a different experience when you're living on campus and you live in those kind of house-like dormitories, and it's it's a magical feeling to feel connected in like a small little community almost.
Thanks for joining us today. What did you think? What did you feel? Of course I would ask that. I'm a psychology researcher. But it's true, we want to know.
Email us at spalab@smith.edu. That's SPAHLAB@smith.edu. We'd love to hear your biggest takeaways from the interview you just heard.
If you enjoyed this, browse our channel, like and subscribe. That way you can be kept up on our growing collection of interviews. Till next time, stay curious.